The first quote unquote God's influencer was just canonized last week, and I thought it was kind of fitting for my theme this week about shutting off the noise and making space for God. Carlo Cutis came before the idea of an influencer was around, but he did use the internet as a tool to evangelize. At the same time, the internet and social media has become a big factor in anxiety today, and for many it's a distraction and it isolates, and it's just noise that fills our lives even when we're off of it, and there's comparison. I deactivated Instagram in like the spring of last year, so it's been about a year and a half without it, and I had Instagram since the very beginning, since it first came out, and I really liked, just sharing moments. And at first it was kind of silly, but then it became about getting the perfect picture. I love photography. I love sharing my travel photography and I guess photography. I'm not a photographer, but I like sharing these little pictures I took. But eventually it just became draining, and I deactivated it. Okay, long story short, I deactivated it, and it was initially hard because, I wanted to pull my phone out to share something on my story, but it's like, well, I don't have Instagram anymore. So it was literally like a habit, just kind of wanting to reach for my phone. But now I've learned to just be more present. And I was very hesitant about starting a TikTok account, especially because I think that TikTok is it's kind of responsible for a lot of what is wrong with today. Again, it's just a huge distraction, and there's a lot of just awfulness. I'll leave it at that. Demonic energy that is being spread through this app. But I also recognize that it is a great tool. It was difficult to start TikTok, and it's something that I had to pray about, and I had to do a lot of work on myself, and I'm still working on it. But I didn't want it to be about me. This whole platform is basically what I'm learning along the way. That's why it's called Virtue in Progress. And it's kind of a way to connect with other people that are similar Catholics or interested in Catholicism. And about habit building, 1 week at a time, I talk about a different topic. And I really want to focus it around the Catholic faith. It's structured around Catholicism. I like to talk about the saints and reference the catechism as well. That way I'm always drawing it back to the source. And the way that I see it now, it kind of goes along with neighborly love. It's about what I can share with others that could be of value. Our Pope Leo XIV, he said, the new evangelization has to begin with a personal encounter with Jesus Christ. But he also said that social media is very effective. I suppose it's kind of like everything. So it could be taken for goodness or to just create badness. Like music. Music is beautiful, and I love music. But obviously there are some things that are just not good that are put out there. And the same could be said about social media. Definitely do your own research. Don't just listen to what the influencers have to say. Go to a priest or a spiritual director. I also think that it's about choosing your algorithm. So filtering out things that you don't want to look at, which can be difficult on some apps more than others. I've unfollowed a lot of YouTube accounts because YouTube is still a problem for me. It's kind of always in the background, YouTube or podcast. I've unfollowed a lot of accounts that were a nice distraction, but that's all they were. They weren't really bringing me anything of value. So even if I did like the individual, I suppose, I've just had to unfollow because I've learned that time is precious, and I can't just be on social media scrolling, and it just brings a lot of anxiety to, I guess, even myself too. I've never really dealt with anxiety, but of course, going through all these emotions, you see something that makes you laugh, and then you see something that makes you cry, and then you see something that just really ticks you off. It's a lot to go through in the short time that you're scrolling, or not so short time, because if you have an app that tracks the hours, you might be scared. which is another reason why fasting is important, changing our habits so that we don't end up neglecting our souls.